Dun, 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 dun. Yes, well, I think I believe I'm ready. I'm not sure. I just need to check that everything is there. One more thing, and it's not showing up. Please show up there. And it's on the wrong screen there. Okay, right. So I think I can just go and click on this. Hi there. So this is a bit like it's a stream, but probably with no viewer, but it's gonna be no or very few. It's gonna be like a cut to the chase, but longer, so I wanted to do something a bit different. So I think a stream is fine, especially if I want to ramble and it not be too important. So yeah, the latest point of view video I made was about portrait shooting, and I thought it would be a pretty good occasion to just talk about shooting portrait. And I'm just gonna check here a few things, and then we'll just go through it. This is my this is my local export. Very interesting name, Sequence 01B. Yeah, very So this is my export about the POV, and what we'll do is I'll just watch it and pause and make a few comments and maybe it will start right off the bat. I think with there's a lot to say. Maybe um, since the conditions of the shoot are very close, very close to no pressure in terms of like it was a very uh, quick shoot, like 45 minutes. It was not in a in a um, very difficult client and professional relationship. It wasn't that at all. It wasn't like, say, if you have to make a shoot um, for a wedding, for instance. Wedding is a lot of pressure, and so if you want to start doing portraits like wedding portraits, etc., or engagement portraits, that's not something to start with. This is closer to I don't know, having a friend of a friend and ask him them, hey, can you help me? I need to take pictures for my book or whatever. It's something closer to this. So it's very laid back, which is good when you're a beginner. You have to seek out this. Um, then yeah, I have a lot of things to say, but I'll just I'll just play it and it will come back, because with my mind it's just like one idea and then the other, and then I forget, and then I say things, but they're not the things that are useful or wanted to say. It's just ADHD thing. It can be useful. When you stream, I guess, it can be entertaining. But okay, maybe not in this case. So we'll just start it. Oh yeah, never mind.
On te voit complètement sur ces images-là ou pas?
So here we're starting
Comment ça?
about. Let me check on OBS. I need to see the. I need to see the volume of the video actually. Okay, it's not too loud.
C'est très... Moi, c'est sûr que tu peux te mettre...
Okay, so we're starting, and I'm not showing. I'm not showing the first 5 minutes of the shoot, because the first 5 minutes are basically going to be shooting without getting any type of results. We're just basically talking and then trying a few things, and usually it never really works for me. It's just like I remember a teacher when I was in photography school who said, back when it was film, like when you have an inexperienced model in the studio and you need to take pictures, like the first 15 minutes, don't put a film into the camera. That was one of his advice. I shot like digital all my life. I did film. I did learn how to process film and etc. But it was already getting phased out, so never had to do that. But apparently that's what they did. They just shot a few 15 minutes without putting film in, and then only putting a film in. That's stories I heard. So basically, the first 5 minutes are not really interesting. But by doing this, I skipped a few things which are, can be interesting. And it's the first thing you will say is make it clear to the person you're shooting what they can expect, how it's gonna go, what you're gonna do, what you want to do, what they want to do, and what they will basically get from it. So here, a 45-minute shoot without much pressure. I said, yeah. I told her you're gonna have there's gonna be about 3-4 pictures that I will really like, and I ended probably there will be more, and I'll send them to you as well. So the person you're shooting knows how much picture they'll get, likely. Then then yeah, but I'm gonna get more. So that's interesting. So uh, um, if you keep the first number you tell the people you're shooting quite low, you can always surprise them. So it's a bit of psychology. So I always give my lowest number. I think, yeah, 3 that I really like seems not, yeah, it seems all right. Seems all right. And I know I will take at least 3. So it's always, yeah, it's always something you can do. So yeah, uh, telling how things are gonna happen with with regards to the images you're producing, the types of images, how you also what I talked about is how I like usually like shoots to happen. Here in this case was we're gonna walk around a bit, and if I see something interesting, I'll stop you and we'll just take a few pictures. If it doesn't work, we'll keep walking. We'll find a just walking and stopping and keeping things very casual and trying to relax along the way, because it will take time. So you can tell them that. You can tell them, yeah, it will take a. You can tell them that the first few minutes is going to be a bit awkward for everyone. So at least it's out there. So you can definitely tell them that we're going to ease into taking more pictures. So I think it's a very important first step to clarify how you see things going, and if they have desires that they can um, communicate them to you. Here wasn't the case, but sometimes you can have people who want very specific things, and you should know it. And as I say on a still here, yeah, here. I'll put this in full view. This is pretty important, I think, because a big part of what I just spoke can be done at the first meeting. Even if you're like, I'm talking for beginners here. Like professionals will almost always have a first meeting. I don't see a situation where you don't meet the people you're gonna shoot unless they come to your workplace and ask for a quick ID shot or something like that. But if you're gonna do something a bit serious, or unless it's professional models, that's also different because they are experienced. But like if you're gonna have clients who have no experience in being models, you gotta at least have some type of contact before. And I think it's the same with when you're amateur, unless you're taking candids and or just walk to people and ask them, can I take a picture of it? It's different. But if you're going for 45-minute or 2-hour session or something like that, you, as much as possible, have tried to meet the people you're gonna shoot. I think it happened a few times that I didn't meet the people, especially with coronavirus. I think that the last shoot I did, the one I did before this, I didn't meet them, but they were recommended to me through another photographer. So there was some kind of communication, and we spoke on the phone. So and we had multiple email exchanges, I think 3 or 4, about finding what they wanted to have. So always try to communicate beforehand. Okay, that's 2 things, I guess.
Vers moi, je te ferai des micro ajustements sur.
But there I'm still explaining how I'm gonna do.
Ça j'aime bien. Et maintenant tu peux juste les yeux par ici. Et là, tu peux regarder
I'm not comfortable saying for a very long time. I never, I was never, or it was very difficult for me to say that I like something, because most of the time it's a bit of a lie. Because I really am hard to please with the images I take, and most of the images I take will be passable. They will be like mediocre, but not in the very negative sense, but just as, yeah, it's just an okay picture. And when I hit a portrait that's crazy good, it happens maybe once a year, and maybe even less. So whenever I say I like that, it's not a complete lie, but it's a bit of a lie, and I'm never comfortable doing it. But it's very important to make the yeah, to make the model feel at ease and be able to de-stress about this situation, because they are feeling pretty awkward most of the time.
Et regarde par ici. Et... Pense un peu. Regarde-moi un peu, ouais, un peu jugeant. De manière un peu, tu vois.
I'm very vague in some of the things I tell the models to do, and it's one of my weaknesses. And it's a general weakness from ADHD too, is that I speak very vaguely, because I think people are in my head and they must understand anything I say and have all the context that I have, but they don't. And it's hard. That's a part that's really hard for me, is trying to and I'm trying to beat myself into getting into that mode where I say, okay, if you say anything, you have to be clear as and concise as you can, and it's really hard. And I think in this shoot, this is not the entirety, it's only 5 minutes, but the shoot was 45 minutes, and there's definitely examples of me being way too vague within those 40 minutes, that I can guarantee you.
Tu te mets en route.
And this is a time where I'm just talking to my camera. Also, probably something have to do with me being a bit awkward and weird and quirky. And you can use these things to your advantage. When you're young, and it's very hard, because all of these parts of you that are awkward and weird, and you know they are awkward and weird because you're being bullied by classmates, and everything in society kind of tells you that you're weird. So when you're young, and if you're a young photographer, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to use it, to be able to turn it as an advantage. But as you're growing up, you start giving less importance to the opinions of others, and the input you're receiving from the whole environment, and you can just be a bit more yourself without feeling ashamed of it, or even though it's a learned behavior to try to conceal these reflexes or these impulses. But yeah, with a bit of experience, you can turn it into your advantage and ridicule yourself a bit, so that it will help their feeling of awkwardness. Like, it won't work every time. Depend the person, but you can try to turn it as an advantage. So I was talking to my camera. It was a bit weird, and and for a moment they thought, oh, he's talking to me. And yeah, here.
Je parlais à mon appareil photo, désolé.
And so they also felt a bit weird probably about this.
Je sais pas, remets-toi un peu plus de voilà.
So a lot of my laughter is nervous. It's also in that, because in most social situations I feel like I'm parroting. I'm being a bit of a I'm just putting the suit of social interaction, and that suit is not me. It's not me, but it's the suit, and it's also learned behavior, and it's like it's like automatic music, like music sheet in a one of those types of piano things that you turn and it does the music on itself. It's a bit like that. It's not um, terribly it's not terrible, but I have that feeling that I'm just parroting what should be. But if the person in front doesn't realize it, then it's fine. And perfect here, when I say perfect, is the same. It's a bit of a lie because none of these three pictures are interesting. This, yeah, okay, but they're not. Nah, that's not what I'm looking for. I think I edited this one. And actually, I took the X Pro 2, and I didn't use it more. I used it a bit, and then I put it on the side because it's um, the type of lens on it is more for what I would do for situational or and environmental portraits, which is something I would do in a documentary or reportage or that kind of setting. Like if I'm at a wedding and I'm being trying to not raise attention to what I'm doing and shoot candid portraits and moments, I will prefer using that type of lens. But in this case, we're very posed. I'd rather use portrait lenses. This is a 80 millimeter, at least 80 to 200, something along those lines. So I tried a few pictures, but it didn't pan out, and but I can't let the model know that I'm not satisfied, and I'm not able to hide when I'm not happy about something very well. It's really hard for me to be able to hide reactions and so it's something that I had to learn to do, and it comes with the suit of being a professional photographer. So most of my social interactions is just like I put on the suit and I just there's input and I give outputs that matches to what I think is right. And so what I was saying, it's important if you take a picture you're not happy with, and take the camera, you take a picture you're not happy with, and then you review it, and your face goes, ugh, and well, the model will see it, and the model will think it's because of them and not because you're not happy with the setting, you're not happy with the background, you're not happy with how it looks. They will take him like, ugh, he doesn't like how I look, and then there are situations where you don't like how people look, but then you definitely can't show it. And if you think that, then you have to try more, because there's definitely a way, an angle, a light, a setting in which you can make anyone look super interesting to take pictures of. So there are moments I think you'll think that, but it's just a try harder, try something else, try another angle, other lighting. But it's very important not to try to be able to not let that go through. And it's something I struggle with, because pretty sure I give that information unwillingly. I just my non-verbal sometimes signals it, but it's something I really try to work on. So when I feel that my face and my body are doing the I'm not happy with this face, then I say yeah. I either say yeah, I did something wrong with the setting. We need to take a few more, or the light has gone, or whatever. But nothing that lets people think it's their fault.
Oui, j'allais dire, en fait, sans manteau, ça peut le faire aussi. Il a l'air confortable.
So what happens here?
Autour de ton cou, bien le mettre serré.
Yeah, you can hear my hesitation here. I'm just yeah, oof, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Yeah, it's meh. It's not it's not good.
Tu peux les mettre derrière ou simplement comme ça, prendre une.
Yeah, I'm very like, but yeah, when you have ADHD, it's like that every time for anything, for everything, like for food, for getting up, for the clothes you wear. Unless you're like me and you just wear the same thing or close almost the same thing every day, like the things that looks the same. So yeah, it's a real struggle. Trying to make jokes and make shitty jokes, yeah, that happens all the time too.
Niveau de ce que je fais au niveau de l'image.
But that's important.
Buste, quoi.
To tell the model what you're doing with the framing can have a relevance. So again, tell them what you're doing. Like, don't worry about your legs. I'm just taking you here, and now I'm taking you. Whatever. You just explain things.
Tu peux faire ce que tu veux avec tes jambes.
There's another part where I cut something. She was standing. You see, there's a. I show with my hand, but I can use the mouse here. See, there's a little pole there, and I was framing, and I had the pole coming out on the side of the arm, and I told her, "Don't move. I'm gonna move me. I'm gonna take a few steps to hide. There's a pole behind you. I'm gonna hide it behind you, because whenever." That's one thing. Whenever you're shooting and you're focused on taking pictures, and whenever you relax, the model will relax or like let go of the camera. The model will think they can relax and they can change their pose and the camera. He's not with. I'm not subject to pressure anymore. I can relax. So if you want to do a move, I think I do another kind of something like that. When you want to move and you want them not to move, you have to tell them before you do your adjustment. Otherwise, they will. This is a bit classic, so you don't so they don't do this. Just pull the spine up, chin a bit down. Say it once or twice, I think. And usually it's enough. Talking to myself for the overexposure. Still trying to make people more comfortable. I don't know who I'm trying to make more comfortable, but yeah, whatever. Oh, the cringy laughter. So, there, don't move, I'm coming closer. That's gonna be something. I wanted her to keep that expression and that pause. So, before you do anything, you explain. See, I leave a lot of headroom, contrary to what I show. Usually, I will be tighter, but it's because when I shoot portrait, I like to be slightly larger in my framing than what I intend to use, as a bit of a safe margin, because you never know what's going to be in the frame that's going to go wrong, and I want to keep options. I want to keep, okay, I'm going to frame you like this, but what I'm going to use is actually I'm going to use something like this, probably.
pas, je vais me déplacer pour avoir,
And here,
pour isoler juste ça.
here I move in too close, and in this framing, though it's okay, for me it's too close to the edge. But what I could do a framing where I simply cut and do a close-up or extreme close-up on this. But I'm a bit too close here, and usually I would leave. This is how I would frame if I wanted to frame and not retouch it, but I'm slightly too close to my taste. Not too close, but yeah, you understand what I mean. The head is too close to the edge.
Ou alors, est-ce que je peux te montrer sans...
That's another interesting bit that I left in, is that you also got to be able to react to things you see and things that are spontaneous, and you don't know where you're gonna go at some points, and you just have to be able to recognize this is interesting. What's happening here is interesting, and it came from a discussion. So, you don't have your mask on you, but I want to show you. I don't know where mine was, but here, if you keep social distancing, which we were with the camera, we kept at least 2 meters. But I wanted to show her a few pictures, and then she did this. I'm gonna hold my breath and put my scarf in front of my mouth, and actually it created something else in the shoots that I said, okay, I'm gonna use it. So this picture is not good, obviously, but I just released, but it gave me, recognizing the moment, just gave me the direction for what was following.
Tourne-toi un peu par ici. Maintenant,
there I'm better.
Regarde par là, au fond de la rue en fait.
That's also something I struggle with, is giving clear, like I said that was vague, but sometimes I struggle to give clear directions. Like right, left, in front, 90 degrees, like and sometimes it's a bit confusing. So I take time to find my words. Happens a lot. Okay, I stopped the video there, but I'm going to show you the I'm going to show you the the contact sheet, if we can call it that. I'm simply going to show you all the pictures I took. So these, the first ones here, from there to here, are the ones taken with the X Pro 2. And as you see, it's not what I want to do. It's way too wide. And yeah, I didn't want to do that actually. So I took a few pictures, but didn't take many in the end. So these here, I'm gonna zoom in a bit. I'm not gonna bring them up all. We're just gonna quickly skim through them, but you can see that these are a bit tense. This one is interesting. Here too, it's starting, but there's a tension, and even in the ones I selected, there's also a bit of tension. I didn't take many. It was a very quick one, and we walked quite a bit, so we didn't take that many pictures. 45 minutes with walking. I don't know how long, but we walked quite a bit to get from. We did 3 locations. So yeah, and I actually like to take portraits in horizontal orientation. I think it's being a cameraman, and it's framing, having that habit of framing people horizontally now. I will still use portrait orientation, but I'm not too fond of it. it doesn't come naturally to me. Very rarely. A few here for the height of the balls. So here I have a picture, but I don't like the I don't like this part of the I don't like the barrier here. And so I asked, can we move over there, because this background is not doing it for me. Something you have to do. Just take control. And if we go, where's the video? But in the video I say in French, it's not subtitled. But at one point we're here, and I ask, can we go over there, but further away? So further away, so we can go past the two trash bins, and so we can go past the trash bins, and because they're ugly, let's just walk that way, and so I have a better setting. And it's also something like controlling the environment in the background and the place you want to take pictures, and being developing simply the confidence to make your choice and to voice it is something that's very important, and I suppose a bit reassuring as well. So here we took those. I didn't edit. I could have probably one of these I could have used, but I might. I don't know which one has gotten my eye. One of those, I think. But it's a low angle, so it's not the best. That's probably why I didn't select it. Okay, so you see the shoot. I don't know how many pictures that is. And what I used as a lens, I used two lenses during the shoot for portrait. The 50 millimeter 1.4 for the last with the balls, because a bit wider, so I can have a bit of context. And it's a 50 millimeter used on the D750, so it's a full frame. So you can still take nice portraits with it. You're not well, a 50 millimeter on the crop sensor would be really perfect for portrait anyway. And for the other pictures, so all the rest, actually from here to the start, I used this one, which is the 105 2.5, very old lens, and it's one of my favorites for portrait. It's a vintage lens, but it's really cool. And it was used by documentary photographers in the 80s. Like it's a very famous lens. It has some history. But another lens that I like to use for portrait, and I think it's the one I use the most, will be this one, and it's 80 millimeter to 200 millimeter. It's also quite. It's an AF, but it's quite an old lens too, with this pump action thing. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to summarize this. I just think yeah, that's what I'll do. Soon I'll do a cut to the chase talking about buying these second hand. I also have this one that I also like. Where is it? Yeah, there. The 35 to 70, also from the 80s, with the pump action. Also autofocus quite slow, but these two, they're yeah, I got them both for about 650 euros, more or less.